Hi everyone, welcome back to Be Rich. Happy Monday. Happy Eid. Eid Mubarak to all of you who are celebrating the festival. What do I have for you today? Well, today I have something interesting for you today. That is something which has been bothering a lot of you and you've been wondering how to cope with it. Should you be doing it? Should you not be doing it? And you're on the fence about it, especially since the market has gone through what it's going through. And a lot of you are seeing a lot of negativity in this portfolio of ours. Since the beginning of the year, we've been doing this Tiffin coffee range. So that is what I'm saying. Should you be doing Tiffin coffee range at all? Because there's a lot of people who are trolling us and making fun of us, and we're like wondering what to do. Is this really what it's meant to be? So I thought I'll show you as a thought experiment. So I spent a good deal of the day today morning, that is, and put all this data together to convince those of you who are already convinced, that is, that why you should stay the course. If you've been with me from 1st of Jan, hang on. 10 years is a long time, and I know there's going to be lots of doubts along the way, but I wanted to show you with actual physical data on why this works, and may not give spectacular returns, but it does give returns which are quite satisfying. So the thought experiment which I did, and I corrected the data, was I took ITC, one of our favorites. It's a stock which I like pulling for this because it's a kind of stock that's not very fancy in the terms of it's not gone really up, nor has it really gone down. So kind of medium, as they say, medium. So looking at that stock, I said, okay, let's take this thought experiment. This Tiffin coffee range investing, let's say it's 2011, 1st of Jan, we started. 2010, we have had this conversation and you joined my group. And from 2011, we've been buying one ITC stock share every day. Possible trading window day, whenever the market is open, we buy one ITC and that's it. We log on, buy one ITC and we log off and we're done for the day. And let's say we've been doing this every day since that day. How many days do you think you would have invested for? Well, you would have invested for 3,545 days. You would have been buying one single ITC stock for so much, and you would have invested approximately 10,52,164 and 80 paise. Imagine that. Buying one ITC every day, you would have invested 10,52,000. And first day you would have spent around 175 rupees, the next day 175 rupees, then 177 rupees, 180 rupees, like that, so on and so on, you would have gone. And if you had logged in every day, like how we log in, you would have seen your percentage of your returns, your profit and loss, and you would have seen negative, and would have gone to, by the second month in Feb, you would be in -8, -7. And a lot of you would have been saying, what are we making sense doing this, Vinod? Are you sure you should be doing this? Then a lot of you would have felt happy because by March, you would be positive 3%, positive 1%, 5%, 7%. By end of March, and a lot of you will be like saying, Vinod, Anand, you guys are the guys, man. You guys really, thanks for bringing me on board and teaching me this. But then again, by May, from a peak of 11%, we would have seen profit and loss coming down to 6%, 9%. Then it drops down and keeps fluctuating between 9 to 10%. And by the year end, that is by the end of the year, you would be up probably 5%, 6%, and you'd be like, wait a minute, you said this is going to be great, and it's not looking so great now, because I'm only made for investing for 200 odd days, I've made around 6-7%. An FD would have given me better returns. I get that, hang on, but we said long term. So you still believe me and you still stick on to the course, and by the time we get into 2012, you have already invested, well, it's 2012. Of course, I'm sharing this Excel sheet in the video. So if you have the time, please download the Excel sheet and browse through it. I would love your feedback. So far, you would have invested around 47,000 rupees and you would be up 5 to 6%. A lot of you would be rather happy. Some of you may not be so happy. Those of you who are very astute would be saying, I should have bought some other share. I should have bought an FT. I would have paid better returns. Possible. But those of you who would have believed in me would have continued going on with second year. Second year, by 2012, that is, we would have gone through this. Now, 2012, your returns start looking rather impressive. You're up 25% through the year. right? 27%. We peak at 30% in the middle of the year, towards the end of the year. Then when we finish out 2012, lo and behold, you're up 30%. And there, last year you were up 5%, now you're up 30%. You must be feeling really good. You've almost invested a lakh and 9,000 in the market. You're feeling great. Vinod is right, Anand is right. All your friends, all your trolls have disappeared in your life and you're feeling great. You're feeling chuff about yourself. But then we continue doing this. 2013, you're up 50%. You're feeling great. Can't complain, can you? But by 2013, some months it drops down from 50% to 22%. Some of you start feeling nervous. You're like, Vinod, I believed in you and I still believe in you, boss. But we were up 50%. Now we're only up 20%. Should I sell? And I'm like, no, don't sell. Please don't sell. Keep investing. One stock, not much. One Tiffin coffee. That's all we're doing. And you keep putting that Tiffin coffee in and you keep chugging along. Then you see some recovery. It goes back to 40%. But then again, it drops down to 25%. By the year end of 2013, you're up 27%. And some of you are happy. You're like, okay, I've still managed to invest almost 2 lakhs and I'm up 27%. Some of you will be like, hey man, we were up 30%. Maybe I should have booked my profits and, moved it. But those of you who believed in me and this whole process of compounding would have stayed and said, no, let's carry on with this experiment. Just Tiffin coffee, right? This is not the kind of money you're going to miss. You don't crib about a coffee or a Tiffin which you had. So you agree with the philosophy and you continue doing, because you're doing your other investments anyway. You're doing your gold and other things. This is just a thought experiment you've decided to join me with and you're doing Tiffin coffee. So through 2014, we don't grow up to 50%, but we're at the 30s and we're hovering around, as you see in the chart. By the end of 2014, we're up 32%. So you're like, okay, this means ITC is averaging around this. I don't see it really going anywhere, But still, we have invested around almost 2,80,000 and you're up 33%, which is pretty good, I would say. And if you keep investing, in the year of 2015, you're up 40%. But then something happens in 2015, we dive down to 15%. Again, I'm sure you kind of get the drift here. You start feeling rather negative about the whole thing. Then 2015, from 30% when we started, we're down to 6%. How do you think you'll be feeling at that point in time? Imagine going up all the way to 50%, sliding to 25%, then going to 30%. Now you come down to 8%. Now you'll probably feel nervous and say, maybe I should just leave ITC and get out of it. At least I'm up 8%. We end 2015 at 13%. From 30% starting, we come down to 13%. 2016 is not much to write home about, because 2016, we become negative. Imagine, you've been investing almost 3,68,000 you put into the market behind ITC, believing me, believing compounding, believing Warren Buffett, and from being an up of 50%, now we have come down to minus 1%. And that could be very painful. A lot of you, like our friend who sold Natco, might have sold. I understand that. But if you keep investing, 2016 we are in, you keep chugging along negatively. By 2016 end, what happens? We had a negative -1, right? By 2016, you're back up 20%. So 2017, we start up with 20%, and we're running through, if you run through the chart, we're up 65% by 2017. You have invested almost 5 lakhs by then. But the funny thing is, during the time when we were down in the dumps in 2016 for that big turnaround to happen, what happened was ITC announced a bonus, 1:2 bonus. So a lot of you would have got sudden spike. You would have had bonus shares, 1:2. You have almost got half more ITC for nothing. That is what's really kicked your portfolio into overdrive. By the time we finish, we come to current date, you would have invested, like I said, 10,52,000. ITC is trading at 410 rupees today. You would have invested an average of 240. Your portfolio, if you log on to your app, it will say you've invested 10,52,000. You're up 64%. Value of your portfolio now is 17,35,000. You have 422 shares. Cost of buying, investing is 250 rupees. And if you see the graph, which I'm sure Rupesh will put up on the screen, you'll see the profit and loss percentage, where it goes up Then there's a long period of time when it's negative, from being very positive, and then it really goes off the charts. But if you see the overall trend, it's up. And this is what I'm talking about. Yes, you're going to see your IndusInd Bank down. You're going to see your Tata Motors down. But you have to believe in what you're doing. And if you don't believe in what you're doing, it's impossible to build. You must not only have the vision as an architect, not only must you be the guy constructing it, putting the foundations, bare hands and physically building it, but you must have faith in that you know what you're doing. These three components are very important. You're the architect, you're the builder, and you're the guy who's the inspiration and who keeps the faith going, who keeps cheering the troops around. And all of this has to happen inside your mind. So just a single stock ITC buying every day, you're up almost 65%. I've asked Rupesh to share the Excel sheet with you. Please download it, go through the numbers, see and put other numbers and see what happens. But this data is available. You can go to NSE's website and put in any company's name you want, and you can download the history of the prices of the company. And you can go to their company's website and download about bonus rights and other whatnots. And you can download all this and run any company through the simulation you want. Too with AI, I'm sure you can do it even faster than me. And you'll have the data in front of you to show you. Any company you pick. You can take Tata Motors and work it out and see what happens. But end of the day, all this is just talk. You have to back it up with action. That is why I'm there on Instagram. I'm there here on YouTube, encouraging you to invest every day in Tiffin coffee range, in what you can, and keep moving along in small increments. Growth will happen. You must trust the process in what you're doing, that you have done your research and you have the knowledge and you have the trust. Then you must do the action. If you don't do the action, it won't be possible. And believe me, when you're going through all this, I'm sure a lot of naysayers would have been on your shoulder saying you're doing the wrong thing buying ITC. You should be buying this, you should be buying that. And you should be able to ignore all that. Because you're, like I said in the weekend video, you know where you are right now and you know where you want to go. And you've drawn a map, right? And depending on how fast you want to go and when you want to reach, you have decided to take that route. Then you must believe in your plan and go ahead and act on it. And if you don't, you will never reach anywhere. So believe in it. And tomorrow when the markets open, again, Tiffin Coffee Range. I'll be there on Instagram in our Tiffin Coffee Range group, encouraging each of you. And I'll be sharing with you what I'm investing in for the day and encourage all of you to keep going at it. And don't think of this would be better if you do lump sum. Don't think of this, complicate the issues. We are only doing Tiffin Coffee Range so you can lead your lives at the same time. The advantage of doing Tiffin Coffee Range is it doesn't stretch you. It keeps it simple, It's like just having a cup of coffee or, eating a snack. That you invest and you move on. You still have the rest of your money, the rest of your life to enjoy and do the other things you want to do. But this keeps building in the background. Builds. And before you know it, you'll have a huge mountain of wealth behind you. I hope I convinced you. If I didn't convince you, I'd like to know in the comments down below why you think this strategy may not work. If you find something in the Excel sheet which should be brought to my notice, share. I would love to relook at it and revisit it. And if you'd like me to do this with some other company, mention it. I'll do it with another company and we can have another discussion all over again. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you had a wonderful Eid Mubarak again. Those of you who are celebrating, those of you who are not celebrating and at work, you must be happy to be back home. Enjoy your dinner. I'll see you again tomorrow with another video with some more information, with some more market insights and the way to invest and to keep growing. Thanks for watching me and being with me today on Be Rich. See you tomorrow. Bye.